After the United States' capture of Venezuela's President Nicolás Maduro, renewed U.S. threats against Iran have raised alarm in the region. This comes as Washington steps up its military presence in the Middle East, in a manner some analysts compare to the 2025 U.S. buildup in the Caribbean before the operation in Venezuela. Some experts are now speculating whether the United States is preparing a Venezuela-style operation aimed at toppling Iran's regime. However, many analysts argue that any potential outcome of such an operation in Iran would likely be vastly different from what occurred in Venezuela. After Maduro's capture by U.S. forces, Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez assumed the role of head of state through the country's constitutional line of succession. Reports suggest that, in Iran's case, Washington would likely try to identify a preferred successor before launching any full-scale military campaign. According to these reports, the chances that the United States would attempt to install exiled opposition figure Reza Pahlavi as Iran's new leader are slim. Analysts also note that Trump is unlikely to accept a leadership arrangement dominated by religious clerics operating strictly under Iran's current Islamic constitution. Some observers speculate that Washington could favor Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, the conservative speaker of Iran's parliament, as a more pragmatic alternative. Ghalibaf is a former mayor of Tehran and has previously served as a senior commander in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Commentators quoted by The Telegraph warned that such a path could result in a corrupt military-style dictatorship willing to strike transactional deals with Trump. Experts argue that a straightforward constitutional succession in Iran, similar to what occurred in Caracas, would not align with U.S. strategic interests. Multiple analysts caution that any effort to simultaneously remove the supreme leader and dismantle Iran's theocratic structure could face strong resistance from segments of the Iranian population. They added that such a disruptive push could also increase the risk of a civil war in Iran. If the United States were to topple Ali Khamenei without occupying Iran, many experts believe the ruling system might simply move to appoint a new supreme leader and restore continuity. Under Iran's constitution, if the supreme leader is removed, dies, or resigns, a new supreme leader must be chosen by the 88-member Assembly of Experts. This clerical body is currently dominated by conservatives viewed as loyal to Khamenei, according to multiple reports. Experts say these clerics are unlikely to select anyone who would radically break from Khamenei's core policies. A recent Iran Wire analysis listed several powerful clerics who could potentially replace Khamenei. Potential candidates to succeed Ali Khamenei included Ali Reza Arafai, Hassan Amali, Mohammad Reza Modarresi Yazdi, Ahmad Hosseini Khorasani, Mohammad Mehdi Mirbagheri. Even if a successor chose to change Khamenei's policies, analysts stress that the changes might not align with Trump's expectations or demands. Some factions related to cleric Mohsen Mirbagheri reportedly argue that Iran should stop delaying and proceed to build a nuclear weapon outright. During any transition, the powers of the supreme leader would temporarily be exercised by a three-man leadership council. This provisional council consists of Iran's president, the head of the judiciary, and one cleric from the Guardian Council chosen through the Expediency Council. Notably, Iran's constitution does not set a strict deadline for the Assembly of Experts to select a new leader, which could prolong uncertainty and turbulence. Analysts believe President Masoud Pezeshkian might be willing to scale back or even abandon elements of Iran's nuclear program if that were the price for meaningful sanctions relief. By contrast, Chief Justice Ghulam Hossein Mohseni-e-Jai is viewed as a hardliner with a record of approving harsh sentences, including death penalties. Reports indicate that senior clerics on the Guardian Council broadly share Khamenei's hardline views on Israel and on using lethal force against protesters. Given these structural and political uncertainties, many reports conclude that any U.S. operation in Iran would be far less predictable than the campaign against Venezuela.